Hey everybody, it's Eddie here on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? Last night's discussion was really, really good. I explained to everybody what kind of news that I bring to the table, and it's all news that I believe that can directly affect our bag. Now, there's a difference between news that's interesting, right? Versus news that is enlightening, versus news that will affect your bags, right? That's the difference. So I try to bring news that I think is going to have an effect either now or later on our bags. And it's a very big deal because I try to create a show that's different than everybody else's in terms of I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I do, and I'm going to deliver news to you, and I'm going to deliver what I think that news is saying to me and how I think, I'm giving you a perspective on it. But during the live shows, you want to know what's really cool about the live shows that we have just about every night during the week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? We get the views from the community. We get the views from the community, which means that we have a more three-dimensional perspective about a given topic. That's what's awesome. A lot of these other shows will tell you, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Everybody's a rock star when the market is going up. But if you stick with me and you learn how to do your own research, 1, know your entries and exits, 2, 3, invest deliberately, you will have a better understanding of how to manage your bags. I don't want to hand you fish. I want to teach you how to fish. And as a community, we do a better job teaching each other how to fish. With that said, let's get into the news. So branding over AUM when it comes to ETFs. In the crypto world, that's actually a very big deal. And it just so happens that the number one is BlackRock's IBIT, right? And because they happen to have the brand, good or bad, they have a brand. And they also have the AUM. Fidelity follows right behind them. But then there's a mix-up between the rest of them where brand over AUM matters. Do your research. You might, if you're interested in getting into an ETF, that would be how I would look for deals. That's how I would look for deals, because the ones that are trying to build their brand might have better deals. But keep looking around. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Another big point. XRP surpassed on Coinbase, XRP surpassed volume for Bitcoin. I don't know about you, but that's actually a very big deal. That's a very big deal. It's historic for me, right? Because back in the day, the market cap of XRP, because the amount of money flowing into it, had surpassed Bitcoin. It was for a hot second, but it did do it. Can it do it now? Yeah, I don't think so. Right now, I think Bitcoin has a 10x market cap above where, more than 10x, obviously. I think Bitcoin right now is at 2 trillion. And at best, I think XRP is at 200 billion, right? So you pay attention to that and you're kind of like, oh, yeah, not quite. Actually, XRP is at 191 billion, and then Bitcoin's at over 2 trillion at the moment because it's at 102 and change. So that's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. We could talk about it, in terms of it happened in the past and it's reminiscent, but it'll be a long time before that happens. That said, can it happen? I heard somebody say no, and I'm like, yeah, nah, you don't know math then. It can happen. It absolutely can happen. Remember what uses XRP as gas. Anything using XRPL is using XRP as gas. Volume goes up, just things go up. I'm just saying, you could see that on the rise. You can definitely see that on the rise. Then you have Bitget and Jambo entering into a satellite deal called Moonshot. The project aims to enhance global connectivity through blockchain infrastructure, representing a symbolic milestone for integrating tech and space industries. Except it's not the first one. There was Tesla and Hedera, right? I'm not Tesla and Hedera, SpaceX and Hedera. So, but I think those are cute experiments, but I need to see, like, what are you going to do, like, actually, right? I mean, putting a rig, mining rig in space, yeah, come on. That's a gimmick. Although, the cold actually works. Just saying. Just saying. You could put certain things in space that would absolutely work, right? Quantum computing. Think that. You put that in space, you no longer have, a reason to melt the ice caps. You put it in space, it's cold as hell. So that would be interesting. So I'm just paying attention to little things that kind of make sense. Now, both of those projects make sense. They're gimmicky. They're gimmicky right now, but they make sense in the future, don't they? I can see those things growing in the future. Gimmicky for now. Test bed, try it out, see what happens, get the numbers, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I could definitely see that growing in the future. If they play their cards right, I could definitely see those ventures growing in the future. So it's something that I do pay attention to. So if I've got a Hedera bag, I'm gonna pay attention to any kind of news that I see about Hedera. If I have a Bitget bag, which, let me tell you something, Bitget's been on a move, big move. Pay attention to that one. Pay attention to that. The other day I went through a list of coins. Bitget was one of those coins. I was like, yeah, you should pay attention to that. Definitely pay attention to that. I don't have a slot for it. And there's no compelling reason for me to make a slot for it. But Bitget is a good move for some people's bags. You look at your wallets and you kind of say, you might be able to fit something in there for that. Right? I probably have to go through the list one more time, have to do a live show, walk through the list, see what the story is. Probably maybe the top 50 to 100. Just walk through them. I know I haven't done it in a while. I try to do it every now and again so we can see where everything is, kind of level set. So I probably should put that on the calendar to do it again. Institutional Bitcoin accumulation peaks on Coinbase, a 10-day price high of 94.6. But if you look at where we are now, which is what they're pointing to, it's at 102,300 as of right this second. So when I look at Bitcoin, I'm like, I told people before, I went on a buying spree a couple of days ago. And people were wondering, well, did you buy Bitcoin? I was like, no, I didn't even come close to buying Bitcoin. And they were like, huh? I was like, yeah, I didn't even come close to buying Bitcoin. Why is that? Because I was looking for value. Bitcoin to me does have value. Don't get it twisted. But I'm looking for value growth, immediate value growth. What's going to have an impact for me immediately, right? And there are other coins that are going to have an immediate impact for me or higher impact than Bitcoin. Think XRP, Hedera, possibly even Solana. There are others. Sui hasn't done anything in a little while, but Sui has this thing where it just creeps up and out of nowhere. You kind of look at Sui and be like, how'd you get there? Yeah. So right now, today, because of the inauguration on Monday, on MLK Day of all days, I'm paying attention to the coins that can give me the most X because they're in the United States, and the United States-based coins seem to be taking front page space away from everything else. Something else is, if you look at the news today, there's actually not a ton of news because everything's leading into the inauguration, celebration, which is starting now. So everything else is going to get caught up and sucked in right there. No air left in the room for you. So I'm not expecting there to be a lot of news. Like, there'd have to be some really big moves for it to be newsworthy. But we'll see. We'll check it out all the way through Friday Flips tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we've got digital asset ATM adoption accelerating across the globe. They're saying that 6 ATMs are being installed daily around the world. That is huge. I want you to stop and think about that. That's a bunch of people saying, I'm going to take my fiat, put it into this machine, and flip it into digital assets. Yeah, that's what that means. So when I say that, crypto is growing around the world, pay attention to that. Please, please pay attention to that. All these people that are out here that aren't paying attention to crypto, to digital assets right now, they're going to be wishing they had in just a little while. You should tell your friends, go out, buy Eddie's book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. It gives you the foundation of what crypto is all about and why it's so important of a subject now. Right? And pretty soon, I'm hoping that in February, my next book will come out. No, I'm not going to give you the title yet, but I'm hoping it comes out in February. That would be outstanding. Outstanding. Because it goes into the GMB3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and invest deliberately. That's a very big deal in this space. Those are two huge deals in that space. What else do we have? I don't want you to miss this because this is huge, and it kind of got swallowed up yesterday. The new Treasury pick, Scott Bessent, went on to say, and I quote, "I see no reason for the United States to have a central bank digital currency." Let that sink in. Let that sink in. A couple of nights ago, we had a really long conversation, really big conversation about, a U.S. CBDC and FedNow. That right there kind of says, yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's what that says. I don't think FedNow has a life anymore once the new regime comes into office. I think that's done and over with. Done and dusted, as they say. And that's a very big deal because the amount of control over your citizenry that a country would have by implementing a CBDC is just, you could call it absolute. You could call it absolute. You could literally say where that CBDC can and cannot be used. And by who. Yeah. You start to see how that is? Just saying, it's something for you to pay attention to, like deeply. Deeply, deeply. Something else that you should be paying attention to. The IRS wanted to implement in 2024 a system that would track your transactions, right? Your tax event transactions on all centralized exchanges that are above $600. That was the threshold. That's a ridiculously low threshold. That's number one. And number two is nobody was ready for it, so they couldn't actually do it. But in 2025, everybody's going to be ready for it. So they're starting this year, starting now. Pay attention, folks. Pay attention. When you do your trades, understand, get with your CPAs, your certified public accountants, get with your tax attorneys, and get a better understanding of what is a taxable event. That is a huge, big deal, hugely big deal. Understand what a taxable event is with regard to crypto so you can better manage and stage your transactions or execute your transactions. Make sure you understand that. And make sure you report properly on your taxes. Please report properly on your taxes. Just saying, if you're in the United States, that's going to be a very big deal. And I want to see you make money just to lose it to taxes. So please pay attention to what's out there. Get yourself a good CPA. They're hard to come by, I know. Get yourself a good one. One of our friends in the community is actually going for their CPA status. And we need to know, sir, if you got accepted into the program. Would be nice if you reported. You know who I'm talking about. Not going to say your name, but you know who I'm talking about because I know you watch every day. Anyway, everybody, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So let me get my notes out of the way. Let's flip over to that screen. All right. You know we're still in quarterly reporting season, so it's big. We've got Truist reporting, Schlumberger. We're talking about today. State Street is reporting, Huntington Bank Shares, Regions Financial, Citizens Financial, Webster Financial, BOK Financial. We have a lot of banks, a lot of smaller tier banks, lower tier banks that are reporting today. Still a big deal. Should pay attention to it. U.S. economics, what's going on today? Come on now, stop jumping around. There you go. We've got housing starts, building permits, industrial production, and capacity utilization. Those are all good numbers to know. Those are all good numbers to know because they're tied to the economy. They're tied to inflation. So we should be paying attention to that. We also have fear and greed index didn't move from yesterday, still at 75. Not bad. Not bad at all. DeFi Llama, we're up to $136 billion in total value locked. Not as high as I want it to be. I want to see it as close to 150. Like I want to get back above 150. That will make me happy. And look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. Let me extend this. All right. We'll extend it to right about there. All right. The reason why I'm extending it is because, see that? Did you see that? This line is the resistance line that we've hit, right? It's the resistance line that we've hit about 102,722. And we hit it and bounced back off. It's proving to be a very trustworthy resistance line, right? You can see it. It was actually established way back here on December 5th. And then we hit it a couple of times right here, December 12th, right here at about December 13th. We blew through it. We were able to blow through it right here on Sunday, December 15th. But we came crashing back down on the 18th, approached it again right here, right, on the 19th, and we just took a dive from there. We approached it again right here, actually right here first, on January 6th, right here again on January 6th later in the day, took another dive, came back, and we're touching it again today. Hopefully we can blast through. Inauguration weekend, I'm hoping we can blast through. It's MLK weekend, but I'm hoping we can blast through, right? Because if we do, if we blow through this, I think we blow through 108. I think that's a distinct possibility, a very distinct possibility. I think by inauguration, we're at 108, 110. And depending on what he says during his speech, we could be beyond that. We could be beyond that during the inaugural speech. And then if he signs a couple of things on first day the way he said he is, we could blow through 120. Honest and true. So I'm paying attention. If you got paid this week, you might want a DCA. This week might be a really good time to DCA. I bought back when things were a tad low. Tad low. I got Doge, HBAR, and XRP. Just saying, those were good choices for me because they're all popping right now. They're all popping right now. Then when you look at the big board, you sit back and you kind of go, oh, there are still opportunities here. Yes, everything's up, but there are still massive opportunities out there. Look at Litecoin going up, VeChain going up, OKB, Link is good, Doge, Uniswap, Shiba Inu, Pepe, HBAR. There are just so many things, this kind of just gives me a broad perspective on everything that's going on. And then I like to look at the numbers, right? And look at the numbers. Year to date, Bitcoin up 9%, 9.5%. Ethereum only up 2.73%, basically between Jack and Squat. Then you look at XRP and you look at the year to date up 59.21%. Last 90 days, over 500%. Yes, I'm happy. Because I bought my bag of XRP. I started my bag of XRP buying a long time ago. So that's a big deal. Then you slide on down to Solana. 15% year to date, not bad. BNB, 3.39, not a big mover. Doge up 30%, 30.85% year to date. Not bad, Doge. Thank you very much. 10% in the last 24 hours. 9.5. You know what I mean? So I'm paying attention to that. I think there's still more uptick on that. Slide down to Cardano. You've got 33.54% uptick year to date. Again, not bad. You keep sliding. 20% for Chainlink, 19% for Sui, 47% for Stellar. 47%. If you see XRP going up at 59, you're going to see Stellar going up. Same tech, just different use cases. Different companies, obviously, but different use cases. Looking at Hedera, look at that year to date, 39.58% upside. 600%, over 600% upside in the past 90 days. So 90 days ago to today, you're up 605%. Just saying, these are the things that I pay attention to, right? I pay attention to all of that. Even Shiba Inu moved a little bit, and it's not a big mover, but it's up 10%, and it's up 9%. In how many days? That's right, 24 hours. People say, oh, it's not doing anything, it's not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, you look at it, and it's doing something. This is why you have to do your research on a daily basis. Don't get caught out there thinking, oh, it's not doing anything, it's not doing anything, it hasn't done anything in a long time. And then you blink and you miss it. That's why you do research every day, because that research every day is an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your education about crypto. That's why I tell you, please do your research every day. And not just about crypto, anything involving investment. Do your investment research every day and say to yourself, I'm going to do this research because I want to grow my bag. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. We'll be exploring the GMB X Factor later on today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during Friday Flips. We do it every week. And we just kind of pick topics and go off on them, take deeper dives. Then Sundays, we do the Sunday Roundup where we turn around and look at the previous week to see how that's going to affect our future week. And you better believe this Sunday we're going to have a lot to talk about. I'm expecting there to be a lot of news, a lot of deals coming out of the inaugural festivities that are happening. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about us. And if you have a moment and you have a chance and you want to do more, slide on over to growmybag.tv/sign-up and become a big bagger. Our next big bagger private video conference call is going to happen Super Bowl Sunday. We voted last night. It's going to happen Super Bowl Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Plenty of time for you to still enjoy the Super Bowl, but still get your education on when it comes to investing. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.